Rav David Weiss Halivni, who serves as the Rosh Metifta of the Institute for Traditional Judaism, is known as one of the great scholars of our time. Much of his work has to do with the academic study of Jewish texts, especially bringing a new wave of insights and method of understanding the Talmudic text. There are not that many that are directed as guidance to personal spiritual and religious growth. Therefore, we are especially grateful that Rabbi Ronald Price took it upon himself to set down Rav Halivni's insights on the weekly Parsha, which he captured in his book Divrei Halev, Thoughts of Professor David Weiss Halivni on the weekly Torah reading. As our sacred rabbis taught, Dvarim habaim min halev nichnesim el halev. Things that come out of the heart go into the heart. I want to share a comment that entered my heart on Parsha Vayak'hel, which this year is read together with Parshas Pekudei. He reminds us that the observance of the Shabbat includes the positive commandment to rest and the negative commandment prohibiting work, the prohibitions of labor. Too many seem to overwhelm the positive commandment to rest. Rav Halivni addresses this. He asks how we observe the part of the commandment which asks us la'asod et ha-Shabbat, to make the Shabbat. He tells us that refraining from work is the minimal observance of the Shabbat. Another part of the Shabbat is the aseh part, that is, doing Shabbat. We do Shabbat by adding something special to make it holy to the Lord. He reminds us that Shabbat observance is not only about not working, it is about creating Shabbat experiences that enhance our spiritual lives. He gives two examples, such as eating foods or things to read and study. He tells us that part of Shabbat observance is to use this day to provide us with experiences that bring holiness into our lives. And if we don't, we are not completely observing the Shabbat. Observing the prohibitions and attending services are only partial observances of Shabbat. So when we prepare for Shabbat, I would add, like we plan the menu for Shabbat meals, we should likewise create and plan a spiritual menu of activities. The menu changes with taste. For some, it may include the study of our holy books. For others, doing acts of kindness like visiting the sick, caring for a senior or a differently abled person. For others, it may be a walk to appreciate nature, or meditation practices, or reading poetry. Rav Weiss Halivni calls on us not only to keep the prohibitions, the don'ts, on Shabbat, but just as importantly, to pay attention to the spiritual do's.